What's Uncommon Fossil, and today I'm presenting an upgraded Gholdengo EX starter deck, and once again keeping it budget friendly, completely free, in that only adding cards that are in the other 7 starter decks. So first day you log into Pokemon TCG Live in this 2025 season, which of course is from like March 2025 to March 2026. I would say if you want to play Gholdengo, make these upgrades. The deck will work better. So, and I've tweaked this deck, and I've shifted around what I've done here. So, still carrying a 4/4 Gholdengo EX line. It's the attacker. It's really the only attacker. So, you got to have that. It's also got the great. It's a great attack, by the way. It scales. I like this a lot, and some other people do too. I know for sure. For 1 metal energy, it does 50 damage for each. Basic energy you discard from your hand. So you need to get a bunch of energies in hand. We have trainers to make that happen, so don't worry about that. That works out pretty well. Do have the call for family attack on the Gimmighoul. Search your deck for 1 basic, put on your bench. It's not ideal, but sometimes you may be forced to do that. This is the deck that has Fezandipiti EX in it already. Super awesome card, right, with Flip the Script. If your Pokemon was knocked out last turn, which, you know, going to happen most of the time once the game gets going, draw 3 cards. And then I've decided to put in a Dudunsparce deck, a 2/2 line here. There is a new Dudunsparce EX, by the way. I believe it's in Journey Together. That you could add if you have that, but that's not in the starter deck. It just does a different attacking option, but the Dunsparce gives a nice engine. Its runaway draw is the ability. Once during your turn, you may draw 3 cards. If you drew any cards this way, shuffle this Pokemon and all attached cards into your deck. So it's an engine, but unlike other things like Noctowl, say, which is an on-play ability, this you could draw 3 cards whenever you want. Now you get it in play, you just leave it there. It essentially acts as a pivot. Its retrieval cost is 3, which isn't good, but of course when you use the ability it goes away, so boom, if it's in the active spot, you've opened up the active spot, something else. And then the basic actually is a pivot. There's a 70 HP Dunsparce as well. This is, I think, the Dunsparce we have, so I don't have a choice about that, but it has free retreat, so this is the one I would want anyway. So pretty simple line of Pokemon here. Because of the A-spec we're using, we want a mix of energy. We want energies of all the types. Plus, there's a new stadium, so we need 3. We have 3 basic metal energies because that's what we need to attack with. 3 is enough. Don't worry. It doesn't seem like enough, but it is. And 3 basic lightning energies. You could cut this down to 2 because there's a new stadium in Journey Together that we want extra lightning energy, and then 1 copy of each of the other 6 types. All right, getting into the trainers, I'm going to talk about the cards as well as the changes I made to the deck. So Ultra Ball, super good card. There were 4 on the original list. I cut it down to 3. 3 is I'm finding more than enough. 1 switch in the deck. The deck original list had 2. Went down to 1, partly because now I have the Dudunsparce, so that gives me some pivots, so 1 is fine there. 2 copies of Earthen Vessel, which I'm pretty sure is what the deck list already had. Yep. Which we need energies, right? So you discard a card from hand, search your deck for 2 basic energies, choose the type you need. You know, do you need the metal to pay the attack cost or whatever? 4 Buddy-Buddy Poffin, all the basic Pokemon. You search your deck for the 2 basic Pokemon, 70 HP or less, put onto your bench. All the basic Pokemon, well, except for the Dunsparce and the Gimmighoul are both less than 70 or 70 or less, so Buddy-Buddy Poffin works well there. Playing 3 copies of Ciphermaniac's Codebreaking. You search your deck for 2 cards, put them on top of your deck. In the order you want. So we want to do that because with Gholdengo, I think I skipped this ability. So first we draw cards from the top of our deck with Fezandipiti EX if we use that. With the Dunsparce EX we use that. But also Gholdengo, besides the attack, has the coin bonus ability, which is part of what makes it so fun. Once during your turn you may draw a card. If this Pokemon's the active spot, you may draw 1 more card. So you draw 2 cards because you usually want a Gholdengo the active. So Ciphermaniac, we're drawing from the top of the deck with a lot of these abilities, so you want to control what goes on top of the deck, so super great card there. Had added 1 counter catcher that was not in the deck, just makes the deck better, I think, for sure. The Ionos, 2 Iono, which is what was in the deck originally. The A-spec is Energy Search Pro. That's the ones you want in Gholdengo these days. It was already in the deck, so they did a good job there. You search your deck for any number of basic energies of different types and put them into your hand, which is why we want energies of every basic energy of every type in game. Added 2 Night Stretcher. This is a really important card, and it should have been in the deck, honestly, but that's fine. We had it in another deck, so I could put it in 2 copies of this. You put a Pokemon or basic energy from your discard pile into your hand so it can get back the Gholdengo EX. We need to evolve into that, or get back an energy. Just a super good card there. 4 copies of Superior Energy Retrieval. This is the key to the deck. You discard 2 cards from hand, and you put 4 basic energies from the discard pile into your hand. So we need a lot of energies because we want to be one-shotting multi-prize Pokemon 3 turns in a row. That's the game plan for a deck like this. We need to get back a bunch of energies, so it works well. 1 Super Rod, put a combination of Pokemon and or basic energy, up to 3 from the discard pile into your deck. Copy of TM Evolution. I'm generally going to want to go first with this deck just to try to get set up, and I do want to take, I think that's the way I want to go with this deck. It's going first, second's not terrible though, but anyway, if we go second, we'll, TM Evolution, attach 1 energy, attach the tool, and choose 2 your Pokemon and evolve them, sets us up. So this is the new card from Journey Together. It's in the deck. It was already here. There were 3 copies originally, cut it down to 2. I think 2 is fine. You're not getting bumped a lot. You need to get this stadium in play and to stick, I will say, but it's not. I find that's not too difficult to get it to stick right now. So if you're finding it's getting bumped a lot, you might go back to 3 copies, which you started with. This was great for this deck. Once during your turn, each player can put 2 basic lightning energy cards from the discard pile into your hand. That's why we play 3 copies of lightning energy. 2 copies of Nest Ball, which, I think that's what was in the deck originally. Get some basic on the bench. Energy Retrieval, I added a copy of this. This is a new card to this list. Just 2 basic energies from the discard pile into your hand. It's good. We don't have to discard anything to make it work, so good there. 3 copies of Arven, just really good. Look for a tool and an item, so good there. And 2 copies of Boss's Order. So cut a switch, So there was a Defiance band in the deck, which I've cut out because the deck doesn't really need that. Usually you could get the damage level you need with the energies, and honestly, if I need more damage, I'm finding like 30 is just the wrong number. So I cut the Defiance band, and I also the deck list also played a 1/1/1 Togekiss line that gives you a coin flip when you take a knockout to get an extra prize card. I cut that from the list. I just finding that, first off, obviously it's a coin flip, which is annoying, but secondly, it's just not. It just, by the time I get it stage 2 evolved, it just doesn't. It's not working. So it's too late by the time I get it evolved. So with the Wonder Kiss ability, if your opponent's active Pokemon's knocked out, you flip a coin. So that's nice. If it's heads, you take an extra prize. It's good. I cut it. I like having the Dunsparce better. I want to set up, right? So give consistency cards instead of this. And it also had a rare candy to help that setup. So cut that as well. So that's the list. And I find it to be pretty good. Let's go take a look at the deck in action. All right, let's see what happens here. Got an opponent that's getting pretty close to getting an Arceus League. Well, it's only been a couple days since the rank ladder reset, and there's a bunch of people that are playing a lot of games. So I will go first. I think this is the way to go. It's debatable with the deck like this. Okay. Yeah, this is pretty good because I can't take a knock. I'm not attacking for damage my first turn. So, I probably get a Gimmighoul and a Dunsparce with the Buddy-Buddy Poffin. I don't attach energy because this energy the fighter doesn't help me attack, right? So I'm gonna want to just hang on to that, and then I can do, if my hand doesn't get disrupted, I'm doing massive damage the next turn. I have Energy Search Pro, so I'll fill up my hand with energy and can knock out anything there. So ideally, I want to take 2 prizes. There might be a single prize Pokemon sitting in the active. So, but we'll see what happens here. Okay, so a Hop Snorlax. Oh, that's nice. So I'll drop down 2 Gimmighouls since I drew a Dunsparce into hand. So that's good, and then I will just pass here. So the Hops cards. I don't remember how the Hops. So the Hops. Now the Hops Zacian hits the deck, the bench. I mean, so right. So but 30 on the bench. So they won't take a prize there. They can knock out my active. So we'll see what happens. Although, look, if they attack with the Zacian, Hop Zacian EX, then right now I'll one-shot them with my Gholdengo EX. So I'm not getting Iono. That's good because I like this hand. It's not a great hand. It actually is a pretty good hand, considering I don't have a ton going on. So you always want to have, at the end of your turn, in most matchups, you want to have two. You want to make sure you can have a Gholdengo to attack with the following turn, right? Like in this case, I have 3 Gimmighouls. They can't knock out all 3. If you only have 1 Gimmighoul or Gholdengo, you're vulnerable, and depending if they can hit the bench, you need more. So like this one, they can hit the bench with 30 with a Hop Zacian, but I don't believe that they can boost the damage to the bench. But anyway, so they can blow up my with Brave Slash. They will blow up my Gholdengo, and it does 240. I'm at 260, but like the Postwick does 30 more damage. The Snorlax does 30 more damage, so they might just hide behind the Snorlax this turn. Okay, no, they're retreating, so that's fine there. And they can attack for no energy because they have the tool. So that's right, they have the Latias. They have the free retreat. So Latias is a really good card for a number of decks. So they're going to knock out my active, ping something on the bench. Assuming they damage the Gimmighoul, I'll send up the damaged Gimmighoul, I think. Because I don't want them to take out a Gimmighoul on the bench, right, with that 30 pinging. So I'll send up the damaged guy. And I don't even, I evolve into Dunsparce, but I don't need to use that. So this is a nice turn here. So I would like to bump the stadium, but that's okay. I don't have to. I'll Energy Search Pro, I guess, at this point. I will take the knockout. I'll do this first, right? Just thinning the deck. I get the Metal Energy. 1, 2. That's not as much energy as I thought. So a couple of things are prized here, it looks like. So, but it's enough to take the knockout, right? So I'll attach because I need to attach here. I'm using all these energies right now, so that's not ideal. I want to thin things out and get rid of some of this energy, right? Okay. I think I'm going to sit on the stadium, and yeah, I'm not going to use the Night Stretcher. I might need it next turn, so I will discard all this energy, and we'll see what happens here. I because I have the Dudunsparce, I should be okay next turn. That gets me 3 cards. This Fezandipiti would be nice too. I have the stadium that I didn't use because I want to make sure I have it in play next turn. That's my thought there, which is why I left it there. So, okay, they might be just leaving him up as to get knocked out, to be sacrificed. I don't know. We'll see. So they play the Duraludon as well. Yep, makes sense there. So, I mean, they got the Darkness Energy attached, but yeah. Okay, so so I want to take the knockout here. That's what I want to do, right? So let me thin. Oh, okay. So that's not great. Okay. So what's the energy situation? I have 3 energies in deck. So right now, I'm just trying to think this whole thing through here. So I'm going to ditch the counter catcher because I think I can take 2 prizes. I'm hoping I can take 2 prizes, right? So right now, he's got 210. Right now, I'm doing 150. And I can... Yeah, I can get the knockout. So, all right, boss. I'll use the Dunsparce. Do I use the Dunsparce? Let's think here. So, I can get back the lightning. Yeah, I use this because I don't necessarily, because I need to... Okay, well that's pretty good. Okay, so I've now gotten my stadium. Let me grab what does I want to get in play? 1, 2. So I can discard. I'm going to Ultra Ball, get rid of a... And I'm going to get rid of an Iono here. I'm going to grab a Gholdengo. Wait, they took a knockout, right? So I can... Oh, wait, I want Fezandipiti, right? They knocked me out last turn? Now I'm losing track here a little bit. No, they didn't take a knockout last turn. So, take the Gholdengo. Sorry, getting a little tickle here. Let me just grab a card here, see what I get with that. Okay, well that's nice too. Yeah, that's very good. So, I will get back these 2 energies. And... Okay. So I need 1 more energy, right? So I grab Fezandipiti. He's really good for next turn. Haven't used my supporter, so I can boss. I will grab 1 energy. So I'm now doing 250. And do I want to take away the pivot or the attacker? I'll gust up the Zacian here. I have the 250, so I will just take the knockout. So a very nice turn there. Pleased with the way that worked out. Sorry, my throat's getting a little unhappy here. I'm gonna put in a cough drop to smooth that out a little bit, and hopefully I can win next turn. That's obviously the ideal thing. So I mean, winning is the goal. So. Okay. I mean, look, if they don't knock me out, it activates Fezandipiti, right? So that's fine. So the Archaludon, I need 6 energies. I have, 2 lightnings I can recover if they don't put my stadium. And, okay. So we'll see what happens. I mean, they probably knock me out. I'll set up the Dunsparce. So, the hops are good, first 2 big. Okay, they got that going. So we'll see what happens here. Can I win the game next turn? Obviously, I have boss, so I draw 3 cards right now. I need more energy though. Although, look, they have squawk ability, so okay, they're gonna look to stall me out. Maybe, I mean, obviously knocking out Fezandipiti is good too. So they already played research, so that's a bit of a strange call, right? They played the research, yeah. So because now I knew they grabbed a research. I think they don't have it. I don't like that play. Monkey Dory. Okay. So I need to retreat and... Okay, so I have game here, right? No, I don't have game because I don't have game. Do I want to... All right, I'm going to try to win the game here. So I retreat because I need to use the boss to win the game. So I'll draw as... Do I draw the 2 cards here? Yeah, I'll draw the 2 cards here. I can use, say, from 1, 2. Well, that's not bad. All right, so it's not bad at all. Okay, so I'm going to use this. Okay, that's actually pretty good. So, because now I can use... So what do I get rid of? I'll get rid of... I'll keep the... Yeah, I'll do this. I hope I did that. That's correct. Grab the Dunsparce, draw 3 cards. I still want to use the boss for game, right? So That's the goal here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I actually do. I might have game in hand already. So let me speed this up. Okay, so I have. All right, so that's all I need. So I will gust, and I can just take out the Squawkabilly anyway. He's low-hanging fruit there. So I will use this first. Get these 2 energies in hand. I'm at 150, and they conceded. So I had more than enough. So got the win, right? So worked out really well that game. So once you get going, you know, this deck does work very well, and it's a deck I like the way it flows myself a lot. All right, had a nice game, the first game there, got a W, and I gotta say, I just, for whatever reason, I like the way Gholdengo flows. There's certain different decks have different styles, and everybody has decks that they prefer. Like, somehow I just find this works smoothly for me. I had an earlier video on okay, taking a mulligan, not ideal, but that's okay. Like an earlier video on the Raging Bolt EX, which in some sense is similar, but I just don't like it. So for some reason, the deck doesn't gel with me. You know, it's just not my play style. So you can let me know in the comments below what type of decks you find just work for you, right? What, you know, we all have certain decks we resonate with. Obviously, to be a strong player, ideally, you want to be versatile in the decks you play. That's true, but you're still going to have some decks you prefer. So Buddy-Buddy Poffin. All right, they're probably not going to take the knockout here. This is pretty good. So Buddy-Buddy Poffin. I will grab 2 Gimmighouls though, just in case, right? I don't want to get myself knocked out. What do I have? So, okay. And I attach a basic energy here to Gholdengo because I'm going to need that. I have free retreat on the Dunsparce, but I'll leave him there for next turn, right? Yeah, so that's good. Hopefully my hand doesn't get disrupted. It's a pretty good hand here. I can, yeah, no, this is a very nice hand. I got to be careful with these Energy Search Pro. One thing I don't want to do, I've learned the hard way, is I don't want to grab it like with Arven on a turn and then don't play it, because now my opponent knows I'm sitting in hand. They know I'm looking to do huge damage next turn, so that means your opponent's going to play Iono, right? Iono or Judge or something, and you're going to say goodbye to that card. So you know, when you get a card, especially a very powerful card with Arven that your opponent sees, you want to only do it the turn you're going to use it. That, you know, always kind of keep your future plans to yourself. Don't do things that tip your hand to your opponent like that. So Team Evolution, so they're going to evolve the bench. The downside is, what's going to happen is I'm going to take 1 prize, not 2 prizes. Dragapult, because of the spread damage, is a bit scary to me. I'm hoping that I can evolve both Gimmighouls as quickly. I want to evolve these Gimmighouls quickly. That's what I'll say, right? Because they can one-shot a Gimmighoul, or they one-shot the Dunsparce as well. So I want to, like the Dunsparce, I want to evolve into the Dunsparce. So this is a rough matchup right now. I'm not thrilled about it. They're getting going. Wait, oh, they didn't have energy, right? Because they did grab the TM. Yeah, they grabbed the TM Evolution, but they didn't play it because I don't think they have energy in hand. Well, that's really nice. So, I want to. I think I want to. How do I want to play this? Do I want to take a prize here? Maybe. I'm going to do this here. All right, Gholdengo, happy. That's really good. Just need to set things up here, right? So I'll drop down these. I got to be careful. I have to be careful about giving up cheap prizes here. But, okay, so I can Ciphermaniac's Codebreaking at this point. I think I'm going to do that. And I'll get 2 cards. Yeah, this is pretty good here, right? So I want to get. I have the knockout. I think I want to get the state. I want to get a Gholdengo because I want to draw another card, get him evolved, and start drawing with him. And I think I want to get the stadium. All right, my only stadium. So if my stadium gets bumped, that makes things tough, because I don't until I draw out my next one. So, but I think I like that. So, and I used the 2 basic energies for the damage this turn. That's a given as well. So I will do this and draw a card. I'll drop down the. I could, I could not play the stadium too. Maybe I hold on to the. The question is, what are the odds the stadium gets bumped? Right? Do they play a stadium? I'm going to play the stadium, assuming it's more likely I get Iono'd and lose the stadium than the stadium gets bumped. That's the always it's about the odds, right? The future's not guaranteed, but you want to try to put yourself in the best situation for the next turn and for the rest of the game as well. So my thought is, a lot of these decks aren't bumping stadiums, so they probably play Artisan, don't they? So yeah, this could end up being bad, but look, this is all right here. This is okay. If my stadium doesn't get bumped, that's okay, because I take the knockout on the Duskull. So they're gonna attack with the one Dragapult next turn. They got the tool attached, the sparkling crystal that can attack for just 1 energy with the big attack. So they're gonna evolve the 2 3-piece on the bench, I'm assuming. Hopefully they don't do anything else, right? I mean, that's the minimum of what they're going to do here, which is quite good. So getting Iono'd, so I'm glad I got the stadium down. That part's good. And now if they can evolve to a Dreepy, okay, that's actually pretty good. That's pretty nice. So I actually might evolve into the Dunsparce this turn, so they can. Wow. Well, that was a good Iono for them. I might be able to knock out the a Dragapult, though. I mean, that would be really good, right? Knocking it one shot. If I could, I got to get lucky though with that. But there's a chance I could pull that off. 1, 2, 3, 4. I draw for turn. I draw 2 with Gholdengo. 3. Draw 1 with this. 4. Draw another 5, and then I can use the Night Stretcher to get back. No, the Dunsparce goes back in the deck. It doesn't get discarded. So if I get the Dunsparce, then I get 8. But that's a lot of cards I'm getting. So I assume they're going to evolve on the bench. Probably set up, evolve into the Dragapult, the guy with the tool, and get into a Dracloak with the Dreepy on the bench, I'm guessing. They could evolve into the Dusknoir. Or is it the Dusknoir is the Duskull? But we'll see which they choose. The safe play is to they did do the Dusknoir, so okay. Which they kind of they did not evolve to a stage 2. All right, let's see what happens here. If I get a boss, I'm pretty happy, I gotta say. So I don't think I want to Iono. I obviously can knock out the active, but I'd prefer to knock out the bench. I think Arven. I didn't play boss yet, right? So there's 2 bosses in this deck? Yeah, 2 bosses. Maybe I want to. You know what? I think I want to thin the deck before I draw that card. So let me grab the Dunsparce. That's what I want to do there. Just because now, right, it gives me the potential to draw more cards. And yeah, it raises his HP as well. Oh, Energy Search Pro, but I don't have the boss, right? So how do I want to work this? I think I just want to. I think I'd not just knock out the active here. That's what I'm thinking. So, do I want to use do I want to use Arven for anything? I don't know that I want to use Arven, right? I really don't. Could get a So I'm just going to take the cheap knockout here and hope. It's a bit of a risk here. I could have kept digging for boss, but look, I'm up 2 prizes. I assume they're going to take 2 prizes on their turn. And they may be able to hop past me with the Dusclops. But, you know, okay. Well, he has free retreat. Okay, so they're not necessarily going to attack with Badoo. I didn't want to Iono them because they haven't been setting up all that well. But now they see an extra 6 cards, right? They look at a pair of cards, put 1 in hand, right? Drakelook's ability is super, super good here. I like it a lot. Look at the top 2 cards of your deck, 1 in hand, put the other on the bottom of your deck. So they draw for turn, and then they look at 3 pairs of cards. So they're going to see, in a sense, 7 cards, and they get to end up with 4 cards in their hands. So obviously how they group together depends on the quality of things, but it's a pretty good deal for them. So they can't take out both Gholdengos with energy. I'm glad about that. I don't have Fezandipiti in play. I got to be careful though. Fezandipiti is, you know, they put damage counters on it and they knock it out with the Dragapult pretty easily. So we'll see how this goes here. They can use 1 Dusknoir, I think. I don't know if they can use 2. If they use 2 though, then if I knock out the Dragapult, I win the game. So I want to take 2 prizes on my turn. If I take 2, yeah, that's the problem. So I lost the stadium. It was a risk I took. It was a risk. So I could use the Artisan, but you know, those are single. They one-shot all my basics though, except for Fezandipiti. I mean, they one-shot it with Dragapults, placing 6 damage counters. So because it's either 50 or 60 HP, those guys. So that's not good for me. So we'll kind of see what happens here. I imagine, so discarding those, yeah, they don't need the rescue board, probably. They don't need the Buddy-Buddy Poffin, because they have the Pokemon in play they want. They have Artisan as well. So they're gonna get the Dragapult, I assume. They need an energy. I assume they have an energy in hand. And I think they used all the abilities. Now, I can't tell, right? There's red arrows to show if they've used them, but because that box, I'll just say the opponent's selecting cards in the deck shouldn't be here. There's all this space on the sides, right? They could put it, you know, I know the stadium's here, the Lost Zone goes over there. So it should be somewhere, though, that doesn't block things. So, okay, so doing that. So I wonder if they don't have the pieces I wonder if they don't have the energy yet, in which case the Dragapult's no good for them. No good. So if they can't attack, I'm pretty happy at that point. So they can now attack. They just need to evolve, and they can do their full attack. The Duskull puts 5 damage counters, so they need to get to the stage 2 to be able to, like, one-shot me. They can also take out my Dunsparce with the stage 2 as well. But we'll see what happens. So my opponent, I don't think they can do the attack here. Oops, sorry. Did I get it? Tried to mute there. I don't think I got the button. It pushed in time. So, okay, I mean, I'm not loving that from them. So, okay, that's a great card. You know, why did they do that? I don't. So they're going to Iono me? Okay. I mean, okay, they wanted to. I got the boss, though. But we'll see what happens here. I can probably, if I grab the Fezandipiti, and take out the Fezandipiti. Okay, let's see what happens here. So now I should be able to one-shot the Dragapult, I think. So we'll see what happens here. I can play the boss. I need, okay, so they're going to, and they don't knock me out, though. So that's really good. Did they play an A-Spec, by the way? No. So they oh, yes, they're Tool. Silly. So I was thinking, okay, can they play Prime Catcher? They cannot play Prime Catcher. So taking a lot of time here. You know, they're trying to figure out their plan, and I think they're in a bit of a bad spot here. So just, they haven't taken any prizes. I've taken 3. So, you know, they gave up a Dusk Skull, right? But it doesn't get them the knockout. So I don't know if the Duskull was the right play here. So I think I mean, what I need is just a prize on my turn in one sense. So, okay. I mean, you know, they missed the knockout, so I need to take the knockout here. So I will draw some cards. If not, I could gust up the Fezandipiti as well. 1, 2. I still have the Dunsparce as well, so I don't really want to play the Gimmighoul because that's a prize, a potential prize for them. So, right, Rod is fine. So I'm going to do the Arven. So what's the energy situation here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, that does it, right? That does it for me. Okay. So that, I mean, this gives me game. So it doesn't give me game. I get the knockout. I'll leave my Dudunsparce in play because he's great for next turn. I could drop down the Fezandipiti. So he, you know, I get to save an energy too. Really nice there. So I think I'll drop down the Fezandipiti, right? Because that's kind of my risk. They knock me out, and I can't. Let me drop down Fezandipiti. Just, I'm trying to get myself into the best spot for next turn, right? They can't take all those prizes. I don't need to attach energy. I think I want energy in hand, so I need to keep one energy in hand. So I'll keep the metal because I can attack with him. Whoops. No. So done. This should be what I need. So take the knockout. So this is good, right? It's Dragapult's scary. It's a scary card. You know, you could play Rabsca. I've seen Gholdengo decks that play Rabsca. A lot of decks can play Rabsca. It stops the Dragapult. You've got to get evolves to it, though, which is why I don't like the Rabsca. You've had to get it evolved before the Dragapult attacks, and you need to get your... And I also want to get the Gholdengo evolved. I also want to get the Dunsparce evolved. I need to, when I play Buddy-Buddy Poffin, I need to get a Gimmighoul down, or a couple Gimmighouls, and you know, so it's a matter of how often can you prioritize that card. So I have Boss in hand, though, so I'm in good shape. They can, if they gust me around, they can take 4 prizes, right? So they can gust up the Gholdengo EX on the bench with 60 damage, and then they knock him out because they do 200 damage, and then they place a damage counter on the Gholdengo. So right, and so they can't take 6 prizes though this turn, right? So I'm not sure what they're gonna do. So, and I do have Boss in hand, so I'm getting the Iono. So this is why I wanted to play the Fezandipiti down that turn. So I draw, assuming if they don't take a knockout, I'm almost, you know, obviously I need to draw some cards, but I draw, if they don't knock anything out, I draw 1, 2. I mean, I draw a ton of cards here. That's really, yeah, I just draw a lot of cards. So assuming they knock out the active, I could knock out both Gholdengos. Although now they have to, well, they get Prime Catcher. I mean, they can Counter Catcher, sorry. So because I'm ahead in prizes. So they can Counter Catcher still. They can't play Boss because they played Iono, but Counter Catcher. But if they can't Counter Catcher, then I have 2 Gholdengos. So assuming they can't, okay, so I'm going to have the 1 Gholdengo with full HP. He draws 2 cards. Fezandipiti draws 3 cards, 5. The Dunsparce draws 3 more cards, 8, and I draw for turn. So I get 9 cards. So that, you know, I don't have game in hand, that's for sure, but I draw 9 cards. So, okay. I mean, that one's a strange one. I'm okay with that, because they're not going to knock out my active. And oh. All right, well that's kind of nice. Okay, so I get it. So they wanted to take, so they take 2 prizes there. Okay, good. I wasn't thinking about that, but that makes sense. They can't win though. You know, maybe they should have gusted up the Gholdengo. They should have gusted up the Gholdengo with the energy, and or that they could knock out, right? Or the Fezandipiti. I don't think this is the right play. I don't think so. I get it now with the Hawlucha. Right? The Hawlucha, when it enters the game, you can choose 2 of my bench Pokemon, put damage counters on them. Let's see. They're gonna probably get the Dusclops. What did they get? I'm sure they're gonna play. Oh, they got a Dreepy. Okay. I mean, all right. I mean, they're doing a lot of work here. Okay. I mean, I'm not sure. Yeah, they're taking a really long turn here, and I don't think they can pull this together. You know, the Hawlucha play was nice, but they still can only take 2 prizes from this. They can knock out. Right now, they're taking no more prizes. Oh, well, that's really bad. Oh, well, actually, it doesn't activate the Fezandipiti though, so that part's good. All right, I want to thin my deck here, so I'm gonna do that. Right. So I'll bench in. I just want to thin because now I'm just drawing cards. So I have Boss, which is super great here. I do have the switching card as well, so okay, that's fine there. I will switch so I can draw 2 cards with this Gholdengo, and I really want to attack with him, and he's got the energy, so I don't need as much here. And a Nest Ball, a Night Stretcher, so that is an energy there, right? So 1 energy, and that's all I need actually, right? But I might as well do this, right? Because they have the Badoo there. So okay, so pure energy retrieval. So I'm gonna boss up Badoo and just make things simple, right? I just need one prize. So, and I can Night Stretcher now for an energy, and I win the game. So came together quite nicely there. So very pleased with how that worked. Oh, did I don't know. It looked like the Fezandipiti was glowing, but oh yeah, that's true. I could have Fezandipiti because they did knock me out. They did take a knockout last turn, not when they attacked at the end, but earlier in the turn with the Hawlucha. So that was bad on my part. So I gotta kind of like note to self, I need to be better about that. Okay, so mistake I made there. When you make mistakes, which I did, you might have called that out. You might have noticed that too. Don't beat yourself up on it because it doesn't help, especially if the game's continuing. But take note of it and just try to let it be a lesson for you for the future, right? That because we're all, you know, I'm playing to have fun. I think it's a game. I do in my spare time to have fun, but I also want to get better. That's part of how a game is. You want to do your best and improve. So make mistakes. It's gonna happen. Don't beat yourself up and just take it and try to improve. So just a few comments on a few closing thoughts. So those were longer games than I expected. So a couple things. There is the new Dunsparce EX. So I don't have it, but let's see. The Dunsparce EX. So I think I'd drop a copy of this in the deck. It does, for the first attack, it does 60 damage for each of your opponent's EX Pokemon. It's just 1 card, and you can evolve your Dunsparce into the Dunsparce EX. So I'd probably put a copy of that in. The energy count, I like that. I've seen lists that only have 2 lightnings. You know, if you need a deck spot, you could do that. Let's see. I obviously cut a stadium that last game. My stadium got bumped, and my other stadium was prized. So, you know, the third copy would have been nice for that game, but that's not crucial, I don't think. This is definitely a spec you want because you need these energies. You don't necessarily need the Energy Search. I have 1 copy of that in here, right? I'm blanking here. Yeah, and I mean Energy Retrieval. So you could drop that card from the list if you wanted space for something. I would say that was kind of the last card that I added in the deck. So anyway, you could play a counter, a rescue board in the deck, and that's in the starter decks, so you can drop that in. It's another tool. We do play, is it 4 Arvens? 3 Arvens. So you probably, and it reduces the retreat cost by 1. Therefore, your Fezandipiti can retreat for free, or Gholdengo can retreat for free, which is good too. You draw 2 with the 1 Gholdengo in the active, then retreat to a Gholdengo EX on the bench, and then you draw 2 with the second one instead of just 1 if it's on the bench. So, a rescue board has value in the deck too. So those are some of the thoughts, the changes I might consider. Adding another Gholdengo, the Dunsparce EX, adding in like a rescue board or something like that, or a third stadium back. But anyway, it's a very good deck. I find I like the deck. Again, different players have different styles. That just kind of feels natural and comfortable. You want to play decks that are a challenge too to get better, but you also want to spend time playing the decks you like too. So anyway, a Gholdengo EX is kind of like a comfort food for me in terms of Pokemon decks. So anyway, give it a try. I hope you like it, and I think this build will work well for you. So take care, have fun, and play some Pokemon.